Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up podcast, brought to you by our friends at Titleist. Solly here. We got a fun one tonight. Big agenda. We got to rinse and repeat, do the whole Scottie thing. We got P over at the Hero in Dubai. Rory had some comments in Dubai because, of course, he did. Blades Brown, an update from the USGA on the distance issue, some live golf news, of course. And on the back end, we're going to talk a little bit about the Nebraska trip that the Schuster boys took last summer in our film that will be out later this week. Joining me, Mr. Neil Schuster. Hello, Neil. How are you?
Greetings. I'm digging out, gentlemen.
Yeah, how much snow you get?
It's got to be at least 12 inches nonstop since 6 a.m. Got my strain in shoveling. My neighbor came over with, he's got a snow plow on the front of a Wrangler, just hooked me up with the driveway plow. We're feeling great tonight. How the Florida boys doing?
75 and sunny.
You guys stink, man.
Couldn't rub it in today.
Up here? What am I doing?
I know. Like today was like truly a day. I was like, hey, we're not celebrating this day anymore. The rest of the country's in pain right now. TC is here. Hello, TC.
Hello. I'm doing great. Yeah, solid. No complaints whatsoever. I hit some golf balls.
How about that?
Hit some golf balls yesterday too.
Well, take us to our opener here, TC.
Well, first of all, little shout out to Vokey wedges. We got the new SM11s coming out. It was a busy start to the week in Palm Springs as the new SM11s were launched on the PGA Tour. And on Thursday, 52 players immediately made the switch. 52. I mean, that's like, what, over a third of the field? Russell Henley, Ludwig, Johnny Kiefer all put full sets of SM11s right in the bag. That all added up to 149 new SM11 models in play, making it the most played wedge model in its first week on tour. It's the same story on the DP World Tour, with the SM11 being the top choice of players at the Hero Dubai Desert Classic in week one. That is a lot of trust in Vokey wedges, and Titleist tour reps like Aaron Dill and Will Harvey who have the job of fitting the best players in the world with the most played wedges on tour, making sure they have the tools to execute any shot required. And Neil, you've hit these things personally.
I was just out. Yeah, I was out. I got out of the snow. Was out in Carlsbad, and guys moved from the T grind to the K grind. It's all about the fitting. That's all I'll say. If you're thinking about getting new wedges, SM11s, they're dialed, baby.
You don't try to come up with a combo on your own. Yeah, let the people that like know what to look for tell you what to do. It will help you hit it with a lot more confidence.
And don't have too much pride about bounce. Bounce is stupid. We can take that offline, but go get fit.
Do people flex on bounce? Is that
they
like a
do?
thing?
I think they do. Like, oh, I don't need any bounce on my wedges. I play knives. I think people do flex on that stuff. I think you should play the right clubs for you, and you should get fit to figure that out.
Wow. Well, you know what, Neil? The new SM11s are available for fittings now, and they will be in golf shops worldwide on February 20th. Head to Titleist.com to learn more.
Guys, we've done this one before, but I got to go through the play-by-play here for a little bit. Siwoo Kim took a one-shot lead in the final round over Scottie Scheffler and 18-year-old Blades Brown. Scottie birdied the opening hole, but bogeyed the second. And then he birdied 4, 5, 7, 8, 11, 12, 14, and 16. It was long over by the time he dumped one in the water on 17. Had a little Tiger effect there on that final pairing. Siwoo was nowhere to be found in the final day. He shot even, finished T6. Blades Brown had a rough day. TC was celebrating the streets to see Blades collapsing in the final round, shooting a 74 to finish T18. Big group tied for second: Jason Day, Ryan Gerard, Matt McCarty, and Andrew Putnam out in the desert. 4-shot win for Scottie Scheffler. I threw this out there, and I'm ready to back this up. This is one of the most impressive wins of Scottie's career. Like, to do this in a full field event on a series of golf courses that it's some of the most inconsequential golf shots you'll ever see on the PGA Tour, of just like hit in the rough, no big deal. Miss the green, no big deal. Like, it is not a good test of talent. Yet Scottie went out and lifted and separated from the entire field and ran away with this thing and made it, like, always this tournament is interesting at the end, and he made it uninteresting through just unbelievable golf. And like, you can't set up a tournament harder for Scottie to win, other than like having more stars in it. You can't set it up harder for a guy like him to win, and he just made it look easy. It's just absurd, man.
Solly, I'll poke a hole in it. He made 32 birdies this week, including 9 today, and he didn't make more than 3 in a row at any point. And he made 9 birdies today, and he only made 2 in a row. That was his max today. So, Scottie, I want to see you making five birdies in a row more often.
Hell yeah. Got a lot to go off of there, Solid. First off, I love you getting out in front of TC's anti-blades. That's good stuff. Setting that narrative
I'm not
early.
anti-blades. I just thought the glazing
I
and
know you're not, but I think it's
the
sweet.
the
that
whole
Solly went
thing
there.
just I'm not ready to anoint this kid after seeing him play dome golf for 2 or 3 days, right?
Of course. Well, yeah, people are they're getting hot and bothered, and it might be front running it. But really good week for him. Let's stay on Scottie for a second. Solly, this is his first Amex appearance? Is that right?
It is not. I
No.
don't believe he's played it. I think Brian Kirshner had a stat here that I'll read. He there were 6 events that Scottie has played 3 or more times since 2002 that he hadn't won. The Amex was one of them, but he's of course now won that one. The other 5 are Houston, Charles Schwab, U.S. Open, the Scottish, and the St. Jude. The worst, his finishes in those 5 events, like his best finish in each of them, T2, second, T2, T3, T3. The only 5 events he hasn't won, his worst finish is 3rd place.
I was going to say, yeah, it's like
he's
going to nail
Texas
Schwab
events
here pretty soon. I feel like he's been T2 there. And then you said FedEx. I'm like, he's going to knock that one out. I think, though, you nailed it as far as impressive. He won the piece of shit putting contest, right? It's like another category of PGA Tour win for his resume. And they said towards the end of the broadcast, they said that at Shinnecock, Sunday at Shinnecock, the U.S. Open this year, it will be Father's Day, his birthday, and the career Grand Slam. And I feel like that's the only hole right now in the resume is like the hardest turn. Like, can he win on a new course when it's set up super duper hard? That feels like about the only thing we're missing right now. But I agree with you that this was impressive for him, for a course set up for it to just be kind of random. He just made it really boring. That was well said.
And oh, by the way, it's at Shinnecock, which favors like the best iron players in the world and the best chippers of the golf in the world, which he's both.
I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for him for having not won the last couple of U.S. Opens, but it just Oakmont was weird, and he just didn't get off on the right. Pinehurst was definitely weird. He was bitchy, like he was kind of old Scottie that we didn't like to see. Oakmont just didn't feel like his week. Didn't the ball did not bounce his way. He was still closer than I thought he deserved to be, and it's just like one of these years he's going to play great at the U.S. Open, and I just have no reason to pick against that guy ever. I mean, he's getting better. I got a bunch of stats if you guys want to do some because it.
Well, before you go there, can I just say, like, I could hear on the broadcast today too, like we're getting into. Smiley was talking about all the crowds. He's starting to pick up crowds. The Tiger chatter starting to pick up. The second fastest guy to 20 wins. Before he's 30, I think 151 starts, 20 wins. The narrative's picking up now that we are chasing career greatness, and I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome for golf. I think it's awesome for Scottie, but it's still very, like, today was very boring down the stretch. I turned it on, picked him up on the 8th hole today when he made birdie, and Carson's like, he's 20. Well, I think he's like 25, 2600. She's like, what is this? Like, it was a good line. She goes, what is this, a center for ants? Like, as far as like, from Zoolander. She caught me off guard with that one. She's like, 2800, gross. Like, get out of here. Like, I don't want to watch this. Turn the football back on. And I was like, that's kind of a good take.
Par's just a number. All right.
I was like, yeah, I know, but I'm on the pod tonight. We gotta fire it up. And once you start seeing the back nine, it is boring because no one's pushing him, but he's just he's hitting this cut driver off of 15. It's just easy. And then all of a sudden he just like sneezes on 17 and hits it in the water, which was like, was that for fun? I don't know what we were doing there, but otherwise it was unbelievable.
He should have 10 cupped that. He went to the drop zone. Like, you got to stay on that tee. If you got a 6-shot lead at the Amex and you hit in the water, you got to stay there till you hit it on there, man. I need you. When else are you going to get a chance at 10 cup one? I needed you reaching for another
Make
ball.
it interesting.
Exactly. It's a joke. So Scottie spotted everybody 70 starts. He did not win in his first 70 starts on the PGA Tour. In his 71st, he won his first event. So he's had 80 starts since then, or maybe 81. I always struggle when counting that one start. He's won 20 of those. So essentially 25% of starts since then, which is greater than Tiger's career win percentage. This stretch that he's on is greater than Tiger's career win percentage, which is around 22-23%. And I should say that was Tiger's win percentage when he won 82. So not counting anything post 82, any of the kind of rough starts he's had since then, since the accident, all that, not counting any of that. So
like the representative Tiger sample.
Correct. And look, but Tiger went, he also had a stretch that from start 71 to 151, the same exact stretch of starts since Scottie. Again, that Scottie's won 20, and we're all amazed. Tiger won 30 times in that stretch. So even in this one where Scottie's been out of this world. But this is Scottie's 16th win in 38 starts since he switched to the mallet. That's a 42% win percentage. Like that is the rate.
Thanks, Rory.
That Steph Curry makes 3-pointers, like the greatest 3-point shooter maybe ever. I get it. He's putting up a lot in bulk, but like that's the rate that Scottie has won at since switching to the mallet.
Yeah.
What else would you attribute the slow start to?
He was a bad putter.
Career-wise.
He was a very bad putter.
You guys didn't believe in him.
TC invented him. TC wasn't fully committed yet.
I mean, he was he's gotten a little bit better in every category every year. Like it's just been, he was already really good and he just keeps improving. I mean, if you look at like JT, look at Spieth, look at Jason Day, look at anyone in the late 2010s that had really good runs, they were up and then down a year, up and, down, and didn't really maintain like a level of consistency. Like he just became like world number one, and then has been getting better he's better in strokes gained every single year. He's probably going to have his best year ever this year, I would think. Like he had his best year in strokes gained last year after the ravioli incident, after he got hurt and didn't win for several months.
The ravioli. I keep forgetting about the ravioli incident. God, didn't even play in January.
And then it looked like Meredith's pregnant again. Based on
I wouldn't dare report that or assume that as well, TC, but
watch yourself, TC.
That would
watch it.
It would appear so, very much so, as well. So again, could that be the only thing that holds him back? He's been even better since he became a dad. So I can't imagine that having two kids is going to make him a better golfer, but it might. He also just cleared $100 million in career earnings before turning 30.
I had that stat written down. That one stuck out to me from the broadcast. $100 million on course. That's wild.
He's $7 million behind Rory and only $20 million behind Tiger. Like he could be the highest earner in golf history by the end of this year. That's not unrealistic at all. Especially now because FedEx, the Tour Championship money counts towards official money now. It's not even bonus money. So youngest 20 wins.
The more I think about it, though, I'm just so impressed by that ability to continuously improve. Especially after he didn't have immediate success. So to just the self-belief, I don't know what it is. I kind of want to, I don't know. I want to like reflect on this more. That's such an interesting thing of like, he might be historically great and just got off to such a slow start. And you just don't see that a lot with historically great athletes in most sports. I mean, I'd have to reflect on some other examples of this, but it's really something.
I wish he had like a carrot to chase. Like you can't catch Tiger. Like I looked this up today too. Tiger went from 8 wins to 71 wins in 178 starts, 63 wins in like he for the 2000s. He won 35% of the time for the entire decade, essentially. Like we're not getting there. I'm sorry, we're not. Like he's still getting incrementally closer to that. He's still not going to get there, but he's also blowing anybody else out of the water. Like Phil's not a good comp for him anymore. I mean, he's still got to clear him on total majors, but like he is completely outpacing Phil's career to this point. Like there is no compare. He's won like almost 13% of his starts at this point, even with that 0-for-70 start. Like there's no one that holds anywhere close to that.
Yeah, he had some injury stuff, come out like during school and all that too. But like I know he kind of got off to quote unquote a slow start in his PGA Tour career, but he also, like his rookie year on tour, he had 7 top 10s, 13 top 25s, and 23 starts. His next year, even though he didn't win, he had 8 top 10s, 16 top 25s, and 29 starts. So it's like he didn't struggle. He didn't
struggle. You're right. But it wasn't, when you compare it to I guess this week, like what everybody wants to do with Blades Brown, right? Like he wasn't anointed as a college golfer or as a junior golfer. He was not like the kid. He wasn't the chosen one. And
He was
then when he
really
got out
good.
on,
He was
he was
really
very
well
good.
thought of.
Yes, he was very good, but he wasn't. I don't know. To be historically great, a lot of times they get identified almost before they go pro, or that rookie season they make a big splash when they come in. And I guess what I'm getting at is I almost appreciate. I just really like it. It's like it's very unique to me in the way that he's going about it. It's like, no, he kind of just got off to a really normal start, and like above average start, but nothing flashy. It was like if you had to be TC, you had to be watching and be like, look at Smoking Scotty. Look at Smoking Scotty. Look at this guy. For 2 years, TC, you were calling it out, and he
Well, he
didn't
was really good
didn't
on Corn
win.
Ferry Tour.
But he
But
wasn't
yeah,
he wasn't outrageous on Corn Ferry Tour. He had 2 wins, 6 top 5s in 24 starts.
But isn't that the
his
point
ball
we're talking
striking
about
was
him on the
insane.
Corn Ferry Tour? Like a
Yeah.
lot of times, it's like the greats just skip that shit.
Right.
They go right into the fire, and they find a way to fast track it, and he just didn't do that. That's the piece that I'm almost like in the moment right now thinking about is unique about Scottie, which I like. I'm not trying to criticize him for it. It's just it's interesting.
Yeah. TC, explain your Blades Brown, your current stance on this.
Why do you hate him, TC? What?
This is outrageous. He seems like a nice kid. I got nothing against Blades Brown. I just think we need to tamp down. There's a lot of really good young players out there. I know he shot 60 this week.
It was a
but
bad
yeah,
60. It should have been lower.
TC
I
said he had no gumption. He couldn't shoot in the 50s.
that was a tongue in cheek joke, Neil. But
I know.
no, I don't know. I just think it's like, it kind of broke contain in golf, and people outside of golf were like, who's this Blades Brown kid? I'm like, there's other guys that you need to be more familiar with before you get to Blades Brown.
I think that's totally fair. 18-year-old playing in the final group with Scottie Scheffler, like to have genuine excitement. Like my neighbor asked me about it today. Like, what's up with this 18-year-old? Like that's great for golf. This was all like, I get that he doesn't have the greatest pedigree of any amateur golfers, but like he's taking a really unique route. He's relying on, he's got a lot to prove at a lot of different levels. And I'm 100% with you that Amex is maybe the least projectable tournament out there. Like Dunlap might be a strange case for this one as well. Of like
scoring
He
record
won it
holder
as an amateur.
Nick Dunlap.
Yeah, winning it as an amateur, is not necessarily predictive of you being able to be a competitive player out on the PGA Tour, where there is going to be consequences to misses that do not exist in this tournament, which is a major flaw. I get all that. Still pretty freaking cool. Like he played the Corn Ferry event earlier this week, took a flight, played 8 straight days in a row, was obviously tired today. Like, I don't know. I'm definitely rooting for the kid. And just 18-year-olds are not in the final group of PGA Tour events very often at all. This was exciting. And I don't think anyone was anointing him the next Tiger. I don't think people are getting too carried away about him.
There were some people that got out over their skis. So listen, I'll say that, and you got, I don't know. I mean, Scottie made the cut as a 17-year-old at the Byron Nelson.
Yeah, it's not the
Right?
first
I know he
person to
didn't
make a
shoot
cut.
60. I know.
Like he was in the final round. He's in the
I know
final group.
it's fine. I'm just he finished what, T18, or T13, doesn't earn his way into the following week and all that. So
yeah, he kind of lit his momentum on fire today, specifically today. But good week. I mean, they were talking about on the broadcast too. He's flying from the Bahamas to here, like didn't take a practice round. Like impressive week for a young kid, 18 years old. Like,
yeah,
let's
listen,
see more of it.
You guys have turned this
as
into me
TC said,
dumping on Blades.
We're just messing with you. We need to see more. TC, I think you're right. We need to see more. I'll back you on that one.
TC, he was born after you and I went to the memorial together for the first time. Like he is born in 2007. That was a tough one to look up today. I was like, wait, what? Try to do the math on that. No, don't tell me it was after I graduated college. It wasn't, thankfully. But yeah, he had a great interview afterwards too. He said he could have written a book about all the things he learned this week and how cool it was to be playing with Scottie. And like, that's got to be just a remarkable experience to be playing with this like dude heading for literal greatness as an 18-year-old in the final group. Could have been a movie. I had no doubt that Scottie was going to blow his doors off today though. But
yeah, he did unlock the fire emoji for a while in the app. Although
I would think so.
He was 7 under through. He was like 7 under through 9 or 10, and he lost the fire emoji to somebody else though. He was not the hottest player on the golf course.
Can only one person have the fire emoji?
I think it's like hottest guy on the course.
I don't think it. I don't think.
Really?
I think you could open it and see multiple people have it. But his round, if you missed it on Friday, he went birdie, eagle, birdie, 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 birdie start. Parred the last 2 holes on the back 9 of the Nicklaus Tournament course to shoot 28, 8 under 28 with 2 pars in the final 2 holes. Birdied 2, 4, 5, and 6. Had a par 5-7. All you need to do is get one birdie to shoot 59 and could not birdie the par 5 7th, and then parred 8 and 9 as well. Had a short putt to break 60 as well. That very legitimately could have been a 58, but
On a what? What was
Is
the
this
par?
a center for ants?
Was it a par 72?
par 72. It would have been the first 14 under par round in PGA Tour history. For as many rounds as we've seen in the 50s, it would have been the first 14 under round.
Also, can we it just blows me away ever since they've gone back to the PGA West, the stadium course PGA West, that the players for like 2 decades just didn't want to go play here. Like they didn't let them go play here because it was too hard.
Yeah.
And now like if that's not kind of a massive alarm bell going off in the game of like, all right, maybe we've de-skilled this thing a little bit,
Yeah, I don't know how
Perhaps.
Yeah, do we think the Amex has a future on the PGA Tour? Like this style of event, it's a pro-am, it's spread out across 3 courses. The golf courses are, I'm struggling to, there's some tournaments I'll fight for that probably won't fit in like the signature event thing and that I have a special place in my heart. This one is not one of them. It's just not. I watched a lot of this golf tournament this week, and it is so hard to watch golf when the shots tee to green do not have consequence. It just really is. Like Scottie had several shots this week that were like off and bad and like should have been punished. And he's like just greenside with a very straightforward chip right at the hole. And that style of golf, I think, is just not it's not what we're about, TC. And it's the same thing every year, but I don't know why it felt worse this year than it has in the past.
It's always such a random pro-am too. You got our guy Noto, the double ACL.
For sure.
Noto,
Did he win?
No, he finished second, I think.
Because he was T1 going into the weekend, I think.
Yeah, let me go to the pro-am, like it's a full pro-am, but they don't cover that at all. Yeah, he lost by 3 to this guy Jim Lee. Danny Ainge, he tied for second with Danny Ainge. John Zito, your boy Neil from Apollo.
Sure.
Global Management, he was T4. Ed Bastian, proud Amex partner Delta, T51.
Maybe not.
Mike Wan, T111. WNBA commish Kathy Engelbert was in the field. Qualtrics Ryan, Eddie Q, Grant Horvat kind of confused some people when he said I'm going to the PGA Tour.
He was playing as a pro. Oh,
yeah.
Confused me. I thought he was in the event.
Yeah. One guy who was notably absent was that Japto
Warlord
Marno. Yeah, the genocidal guy from Indonesia who's like the warlord. He did not get the invite this year. I don't think he's been for a couple of years.
Solid. To your question, where does this fit? I would say not that there's like a ton more consequence at Kapalua, but I would ride for Kapalua a lot harder than this one. If we're got to pick one, it's just as far as I think Kapalua has such a distinct look and feel and kickoff to the season that I would say like I'd love to see them go to do 2 tournaments in Hawaii and then get a week off. If we're talking about the future of the PGA Tour, I think that fits a lot better than the Amex does. And I know there's a lot of nostalgia with Bob Hope and no, this was kind of similar to the clam bake at Pebble. This is the roots of the tour here, and there's a lot of truth to that. But I'm with you. It's like, man, this time of year. You got AFC, NFC championship game on this weekend. It's kind of a tough sell. For the course just doesn't really hold up. Doesn't hold my attention.
And I think Kapalua just comes down to this is like shots without consequence and uninteresting golf.
Yeah.
I think Kapalua is still interesting golf, even if the scores are low and the margin for error is big. Like you can,
You still
miss
got to hit
pretty.
the shot to make the
Yeah.
birdie at Kapalua. Right?
Yeah. And if you miss, you probably can still make par quite easy, but it just feels like you got to do something interesting most of the time to get
It's
the
kind of a
birdie.
unique type of golf. It's like one of the
Yes.
few looks at mountain golf that we
Yeah.
get. And
Exactly.
I remember talking to Spieth about it. He's like, it's here in Augusta are basically the only places we get uneven lies.
Right.
Like ball above my feet, ball below my feet, which that's stuck with me for 3 or 4 years now. But yeah, I'd like to see if we're picking between like the first 3 weeks of the year. I'm like, man, just give me the Hawaii stuff, and then let's take a break, right? And then let's start the West Coast. In California.
I mean, it's bad when Sully's jonesing for Torrey.
Literally by the end of this, I was like,
yeah.
I'm kind of ready for when you miss a green that, there to be some consequence. It's just, in a vacuum, Birdie Fest can be fun, but like I watched a fair amount of golf this week and I was just like, man, I don't really know why, because it really is just going to come down to the putting at the end. I mean, yeah, if you really wanted to pump your own data, pump your stats to start the year, like this would be a great place to do it. And if you're looking to track that, I would suggest our friends at Arccos. We've been using the new Link Pro a ton, especially on our trip to Casa de Campo. How it works, you just put it in your pocket and you play. It's crazy. It's insane. We're going to talk more about this technology at a later point. I've already picked up a ton of insights about my own game. I'm actually driving it a lot better than I would have thought. I need to be nicer to myself. I still stand on tees like thinking I'm not a very good driver of the ball, but the stats would say it's been the strongest part of my game since the beginning of December. I'm not chipping it nearly as well as I'd like to think I am. So I might need to put a little more time around there, or look at, hey, I'm having some big misses around the greens that are costing me a lot. And the okay chip shots in between are not making up for that. I'm doing great on putting outside of 10 feet, but from like 6 to 9 feet, not so good. My iron plays in a downtrend, all kinds of great data just straight from the Link Pro system. We're also using the smart laser rangefinder. You shoot the flag, it tells you the yardage it's playing based on wind, temperature, slope, altitude, everything. Like, if somebody in the group will gun the yardage and shout it out, I will still gun it on a par 3 because I want to see that number of what it's playing like. And it'll give you an estimation if there's like a big wind gust, like here's the max, here's the range that it might be playing. It's up to you to figure the wind out, but here's the range. And it is really, really, really accurate. It's plugged into all kind of TC's weather systems and all that stuff. It's really impressive. So Arccos gives you strokes gained, broken down by different parts of your game, driving, approach play, short game, putting. It's legitimately fun to use. It makes me want to play more golf. It makes me want to make better decisions. ArccosGolf.com. That's ARCCOS golf.com, and use code NLU15 for 15% off. Again, ArccosGolf.com, code NLU15 for 15% off. Question for you guys. How many wins for Scottie in 2026? Let's get it on the record.
6. How many do you have last year?
6.
I'll say 6.
I'll say 7. I think it's going to be a better year.
Light now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 7, because then you start to think, like, if I say 8 or 9, it's like, well, we talk about the historic VJ year. That was 8. It's like, damn. Now I'm into my 11 majors territory. I'm going to say 7.
I'm going to go 8. I'm buying whatever he's selling. I mean, VJ had 9 that year in 2004. They were talking about, Neil. So
9. Excuse me.
Scottie had 9 in 2024. 6 last year. I think he's going to be closer to 2024. We have no ravioli period this year.
No ravioli.
He stole a win at the Amex. Like, this one just feels like a freebie, a free space on the bingo card.
I mean, you got. I would say this. Maybe the hottest player in the world right now, Ryan Gerard, spotted him a few strokes. First round, he shot 70, came roaring back, finished T2. It's his third second place finish in a row.
So you had
Mauritius.
Before we go down the leaderboard, you had a few stats in here. He's been number 1 in the world now for half as long as Tiger.
He's 140 weeks in a row at number 1. That's halfway to Tiger's record of 281. I'd say a lot of Tiger's numbers are completely untouchable. Can he break this one? This is a little less than 3 years.
So that made me go look up official world golf rankings. So I don't know how to read this stuff. So he's at 640.746 points Rory's number 2 in the world at 417.762. And then Tommy Fleetwood's number 3 at 270.76. So I'm trying to understand like his gap. Do you know what I mean? Like
So it goes off
how,
average though. So that column of average points, he's 16.95,
so he's double.
essentially 17, and Rory's at 8.5. I think he cakewalks to this, barring a serious injury, which is not nothing. Like guys get injured all the time, like truly all the time. He got injured last year. Like that very well could happen, and that's a cop-out answer. But I think if it's like just left up to him to play golf, I think no one's going to come close to what he's doing, and I don't see him coming that far back. I mean,
so right now we've got Scottie at 16, Rory at 8.8. We'll say 9. Tommy Fleetwood at 5.4. Xander Schauffele at 4.7. Russell Henley at 4.7. They're neck and neck in the 4 and 5 spots. So he's double. I mean, God, he's way out in front of everybody. He's double Rory, and he's, almost 4 times as high as Tommy as far as average points goes. So that helps. Thank you for clarifying that for me. It's going to hard to track down is what you're saying if he just doesn't take a ton of time off.
Yeah, so for winning the Amex, he won 65 points. And that's where he has like 284 more points than Rory already. So like Rory would have to win, however many events in a row just to tie Scottie eventually. And and that would be Scottie not getting any more points to boost that average. It's unlikely. It really is. Anything else from the notebook from Amex? TC, you got anything else you want to get out?
Good finish for Jason Day. Second year in a row, he's played well there. Down to 62nd in the world. I think he kind of needs to get on his horse here. The aforementioned Ryan Gerard, of course.
I'd like to give the PGA Tour app developers they have the flame, right? If you're hot, I think they need like a fedora for the hottest player in the world, like the TC fedora. Give it to Gerard, whoever, like week to week, like you were saying that the flame emoji is only one guy can have it.
A cold emoji too.
Would you say that Ryan Gerard gets the fedora emoji right now? Hottest player in the world?
I think hottest player in the world, not named Scottie. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
It's worth noting Jason Day's up to 33rd. The world rankings have already been updated. He's up to 33rd with this second place finish. So he made a massive leap.
Matt McCarty, T2. Andrew Putnam had a second round 60. He went 72-60 the first 2 rounds. So he's T2. You've got McCarty and Putnam are both in Neil's Aon swing 5 at the moment. Sam Stevens. I know nothing about Sam Stevens other than he's from Wichita. That's it. I think I need to learn more about Sam Stevens based on he had a really good year last year, and he seems to be off to the races again this year.
He has some sick chipping videos with Joe Mayo. That's what I know about him. And I'll fast forward to this. He's my pick to win at Torrey this week. He had a great finish at Torrey 2 years ago, I think it was. And I'm picking him to win at Torrey this week.
Okay. Russ Henley, T8.
I was going to call out Russ, just doing professional stuff, just like owning their space in the midfield. T8 in a pack on a pack track. TC he and Hogecoin at T8
and Sahith.
How nervous. I wouldn't consider Sahith in the Henley Hoge like true pros pro category, but those guys just getting it done in a packed field doesn't matter. Top 10s for 2 just veteran ball strikers. I love it.
And David Ford. He's PGA Tour U. He finished T13. Our guy Bridgman, solid T13 as well. And then the Blow Pig kind of leaked oil a little bit today. Final round 72. Otherwise, he was kind of up there in the mix. Pearson Cootie played well. Will Zalatoris back bouncing around. Blocky missed the cut. Hated seeing that. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it. I didn't watch it.
Top 27. Or
T27.
T27. Come on. Also top 27.
I probably watched more of Dubai this week. But I did see. I hate seeing Nick Dunlap continue to struggle like he is with the driver.
If you're watching on YouTube,
was off the planet.
Oof.
I'm putting a couple up here from his only round that was measured on the stadium course on ShotLink. Like, I mean, just hitting it into the shaded area on ShotLink, like that is not considered part of the hole. One of these was on the right side of there's a fairway, then there's a bunker, then there's water. He went right of all of those on the 9th hole.
That's sick.
But he made par there.
He did.
It's always
That's
right,
awesome.
huh?
Yeah. It's not good. It's really, really, really not good. Something to continue to monitor and keep an eye on. But some PGA Tour news and notes. This is a big one down in Ponte Vedra. Ludacris will be the military tribute concert here at the Players Championship in Ponte Vedra. First non-country act. This is big for us down here in these parts. My wife's already saying, all right, we're going this year. We're finding a sitter.
God, Luda's doing software commercials now. He's playing at the
Ludacris
PGA Tour.
blows. I mean, that guy
Unreal.
stinks. The olds are going to be so mad, Solly.
Of course they're going to be mad. That's what makes it fun. What was didn't you park his car once when you were valet parking?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he would come in all the time to one of the places. Luda, and then Big Boy's girl. We can take that offline. Big Boy's girlfriend lived in the condos right above one of the restaurants. Yeah, I could not be more out on Luda. That's going to be so awkward.
That's what's going to make it fun.
So this is the first non-country act since the Chainsmokers.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Somebody said it was first non-country, but I forgot about the Chainsmokers.
How could you forget about the Chainsmokers?
That is on
All
me.
those on TikTok.
Thank you for the correction. What's in your notebook here?
Yeah, I had a little olds corner here that just kind of a great lead in there. Neil, I sent this over. John Brody.
TC, I loved this. Not familiar with John Brody's game, and I was
not either.
Rest in peace. But I'll take it away, please.
Yeah, John Brody. This is courtesy of PGAtour.com, the PGA Tour Champions site. This was written by Chris Cox on there. But just going into this guy, John Brody, I was not familiar with his game either. PGA Tour Champions winner, former NFL MVP, passed away this week
for your Niners,
90 years old. Yeah. First round draft pick out of Stanford.
Led the league in passing 3
Pro
years. Early 70s. Guy just tore it up in the NFL. And then he just had a complete second act. And he just was he played golf at Stanford as well. There's a line in that obituary where the football coach Chuck Taylor couldn't find him. He was trying out for the golf team. Ended up being a dual sport athlete at Stanford, and then after his football career, he just became a Champions Tour golfer, just balled out. And
230 career starts between 85 and 98. So
God, he had some legendary quotes just about golf in general, about like how hard it was. He's thinking it hardest sport by far, to play. And I just loved it, man. I love the idea of second acts and, just somebody being successful, like high level success in two really, really hard fields, especially athletically. Shout out to John Brody. I'm pissed at myself that I didn't know about him, TC. So thank you for sending this through.
You're welcome. Guys, the olds were in Hawaii this week at the Mitsubishi Electric. I think there's like 3 Mitsubishi Electric tournaments on the schedule, but they were at the one in Hualalai on the Big Island. Stu Cink won, picked up right where he left off. He won the Schwab Cup last year. He won.
Some would say he does not have unfinished biz.
Yeah.
It's over.
El
business is done
Pato
here.
had a bogey-free 62. He continues to be a force to be reckoned with out there. VJ finished T12, and he's not playing next week at Torrey. He's resting. We're going to track the hell out of VJ.
We're tracking all of VJ's moves this year.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of this earlier, kind of mid-afternoon. God, it looked good out there, man. That course looked awesome. Fun viewing. And Solid, got to watch out. Mitsubishi might be the modern Champions Tour version of Buick from our soon-to-come 94 PGA Tour episode.
We do have a fun deep dive coming probably in 2 weeks from now that we dove a little bit into how hard Buick used to stunt on the PGA Tour.
Well, they had 5 tournaments?
4.
Yeah.
They had 4 tournaments.
I mean, unreal.
It was the cat. I mean, the cat was contractually obligated to show
Buick
up.
Invitational, the Classic, It was the Buick Cup is
the
unbelievable.
challenge down at Callaway Gardens.
The
Yes,
Open,
TC,
of
we got
course.
deep into that. Got
Could you
rained out in
imagine
'94.
what Brian Rolapp would think of, like, wait, we have a tournament in outside of Columbus, Georgia at Callaway Gardens.
TC, that's not. I thought outside of Columbus too. It's not. It's on the border with Alabama. It's in the middle of nowhere. That tournament was in the middle of nowhere.
Columbus is on the border with Alabama.
No, it's like farther west than I looked on the map. It's not really that close to Columbus.
Take that offline.
Quickly wrapping up this side of the ocean. Friend of the program, Chad Coleman, named to the LPGA Tour CMO. This is an excellent development for anyone that knows Chad. He's been with Dude Perfect the last 6 or 7 years. I think he was maybe not quite that long. Was with Callaway when we worked with Callaway as well. Hashtag Chad was one of the innovators in the golf media / influencer workspace, way ahead of his time on a lot of this stuff, and is coming back to the golf world. And I think he's going to be empowered to do some really cool stuff there. So we're really, really stoked for him. Congrats to him, and congrats to the LPGA Tour. You got a great one there. So
yeah, stoked for the LPGA just generally. It's a good, like, I think Kessler keeps signaling that he's willing to think outside the box here. Yeah. So good stuff there.
TGL this week, don't have a lot other than Tiger's interview. It just opened up the show was really tough and awkward, and he just struggled to talk, and it was like he never talked in public before. It was like he was nervous and talking super, super, super fast, and I hope he's all right, man. It was just
especially with SVP handling the interview. It's like, God, that should have been like a layup. Tough.
Yeah, it's worrying, troubling, I think.
Yeah. Team Rose, of course, had an albatross. DJ's not here to celebrate that, as well as Juplings got embarrassed yet again. But
yeah, Kisner had 154 ball speed.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not positive the franchise is on the best path to success, but maybe we can dive into that in a future episode. In Dubai, at the Hero, kind
of the news of the week. We should have led with this, man. This is good stuff.
It was good. It was good viewing too. It was not dome golf. It was kind of windy and wet there this morning.
Patrick Reed took a 4-shot lead in the final round and played a steady, even par round to win by the same 4-shot margin. Just 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. No one ever really got that close. David Pooch, I think, had it to 2 shots at one point on the back 9, but made 3 bogeys coming in. And actually, he actually ended up, I don't know if you guys saw this. He got penalized for grounding his club in the bunker on 18 and fell from T3 to T7. That cost him $276,300 in the aftermath. But the headline here: P back in the winner's circle, has some quotes and some stories and stuff going on there as well. But Patrick Reed getting the dub at TC. I know you're absolutely tickled by this.
Listen, I was. He was really feeling himself, doing all the media and all that. I miss P, man. He plays a lot worldwide. He's playing on, Asian Tour. He's playing on Live. He's playing on DP World Tour.
He's playing in Bahrain this coming week. When he said that, I was like, 1, I didn't know DP World Tour was going to Bahrain, and 2, P is going. He's going to play Bahrain.
Yeah, so I think we need to import some villains. We need to get some villains back in the mix.
We do, TC.
I think I'm rooting for P to win the Masters or win a major this year, so they can't keep him out.
The best part about P is he doesn't go looking for a mic like some guys do, but when one finds him, he has some good, like, some outrageous things to say. Where it's like, yeah, I mean, I haven't signed my Live contract. I'd love to come back. It's like nobody's asked me in a while, and he just pops up, and I miss him straight up. I miss him. That grease ball. I'd love to have that grease ball back. Just best hands in golf.
And Lady J. Yeah. Somebody said, gosh, there was a Sky Sports interview this week that they compared P in the moment and told him that he's the modern day Seve, the great man Seve, which I thought was great. But yeah, probably the best wedge player in the world this side of Blandy.
I asked you guys, I was like, should we do like a little mini, dive into P Reed tonight for the pod? I don't think you can do a mini dive on Patrick Reed. I accumulated way too many notes for anything to squeeze into this. And it's just I think I have 17 noteworthy things from @UseGolfFacts I don't even think I made it through 2 years of the tweets. It
My old
is
friend.
an historical artifact. It is just absolutely. I miss all of this. It is like out of sight, out of mind with Reed. Like I honestly don't think about him anymore. But you just forget how, on a weekly basis, she would just give TC all that he needed for every Sunday night pod that we would ever do. I mean,
You guys had such a symbiotic relationship, TC.
I know. I miss her.
I know. That was just good for
And then she
good
outed
content
herself.
for everybody.
Well, when P says like, "Hey, like I don't negotiate during tournament weeks or when I'm playing golf, my team is handling all of that." Who is his team? Is that just his mother-in-law and Lady J just sitting at home, like, talking to the Aces GM, trying to drive a hard bargain?
I'm just going to give you a snapshot of things she was upset about. And this is not meant to be all encompassing because honestly, I could not get through it all. August 2020, mad about everyone in the top 10 being in a feature group or a notable pairing, except for Patrick Reed at the PGA Championship. November 2020, not a fan of DJ getting a green jacket because there weren't fans there. Just said it basically, just threw a big asterisk on that one. Honestly, I'd like to invite her on the pod to talk about that one. January 2021, agrees with @Tron Carter NLU that the app is really slow to update, but only for certain players, implying that Patrick Reed's updates
They're
are
throttling
really
him.
slow.
They're throttling his updates.
The fact that account is still like
Still
it's
up.
still live. It's
Yes.
just hasn't posted in how long?
Allegedly hasn't posted in 2 years, since 2023. I think it was the last tweet that I
I
saw.
think the alleged is important because
Of course, all of this is alleged. Yeah.
Mr. Clayman Esquire is listening. I think he got disbarred.
Yeah, he got disbarred.
I don't think
He
that's
got
going to stop him, though. It just doesn't seem like.
tossed.
Obviously, had the Rory disaster, or the tweet disaster at Farmers when Reed had a tough rules incident where she also accidentally tweeted it from the actual official Patrick Reed account. July 2021.
That was when she outed herself.
Correct.
I remember like there's like 4 moments in my life where I remember exactly where I was. Like the palace.
Please
brawl
tell me
was
where
one
you
of
were,
them.
TC.
When my wife called me and told me that she was pregnant first time, and when Lady J, I was sitting at Catullo's Italian restaurant, and like kind of had shoddy cell reception, and that came across the wire that she posted in the wrong place allegedly, and that was one of the greatest moments in NLU history as far as I'm concerned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got her.
Of course, mad about too many late early tee times in majors. Only Cantlay, among the top players in the world, was getting more of those. October 2021, almost 2 years after the Hero incident, still tweeting about altered footage in that one. Mad
Hero
about
incident. That's
shot link.
That's good. If you just parachuted in this pod, just the Hero incident. No other context
The
needed.
Dr. Moonchal incident.
Mad at Shotlink for manipulating Reed's driving distance. Honestly, I think I missed that one. She was saying that Shotlink was understating his driving distance, and then it got less fun when she was mad about OWGR points because she just sounded like everyone else, all the other bots on there. But it's incredible stuff. It really is. So other finishes there: Hovland T14, Lowry T26, Rory and Hatton T33, Tommy T41. Some guys.
What if P just balls out on the Euro Tour? Top 10 gets him back on the PGA Tour, right?
Correct.
But he's
I loved
technically
him
suspended,
talking
so
about-
he would have to be. He would have to still get a waiver or like some.
He wouldn't play this, so he'd have to play this year out on the DP World Tour, and then would be technically had spent the year. But so that's like it's not like been promised by the tour that hey, it's a year from your last event. Like it basically says once you have violated this rule, you are suspended at least a year.
Okay.
It's not been clarified as far as I know. Like if you play 50 events. I mean, they could say it's 50 years because you played 50 in a row. You know what I mean? It's not like that's the set punishment if you've played on Live Golf.
But so just to be clear, though, if he top 10s on the Euro Tour, but he, coming up in a couple weeks, he plays Live this season, but he top 10s on the Euro Tour, he'd still be suspended.
Correct.
Yes. So you're saying that if he decided not to play Live, because he's saying in his press conference, hey, I haven't signed my contract yet. He's almost teasing like maybe I won't re-sign with Live this year. And then if he does and he just plays Euro Tour, God, he could play. Yeah. So then he could play his way back on and maybe And that's
top
where
10.
there's a lot of flexibility on like where do you say that ended? God, that's sick. I love it.
Top 10, not otherwise exempt. All you would need is like 2 or 3 more good finishes out there, and I think he would probably have it locked up. I just love him using the existing pathways. You know what? I'm gonna play my way back
Sure.
out there.
That's what I'm saying about Pete.
awesome.
Like he doesn't complain like publicly. He just like he just goes about the work. No, Lady J complains, but
No,
Pete hasn't
he's
complained in a while. He hasn't
Guess my-
complained in a while.
Guess my name's got to be Jordan Spieth to get this drop, guys.
Well, that's fair. Okay, never mind. But lately he hasn't complained. You're right. That's a recency bias. But I feel like he does just fly around and play fucking golf, man.
Yeah.
The guy's everywhere. Like he's just
He's a
wants
menace.
he's addicted to it. I find it. I miss him. I miss P. Period.
He's way better. Again, this is why just the golf world should be together. Like, there's no reason he should be off playing irrelevant golf on the Live Tour. Like, I'm not calling the hero irrelevant golf, but the rest is. I don't think about. I have no idea how he's been playing on Live.
God, I think that would be even like tougher for Live if a guy like Reed, who's supposed to just ride off into the sunset, decides to say like, "No, I'm not going to sign this contract. I'm just going to grind my nuts off on the Euro Tour." I'm just going to go, like you said, TC, I'm going to go about the pathway. I'm going to take the road less traveled here and I'm going to find my way. But the prodigal P returns. God, that's good stuff.
The problem he's got working against him is it is a roll app going to the players like, hey, what do you guys think about this one? What should we do here? What should we do? Koepka's like wave him on through. Yeah. Reed might get a little different reaction from the players. It is maybe important enough.
Eamon Lynch had a column that posted tonight, and it was like, yeah, like everybody likes Brooks. Like, imagine what it's gonna be like when roll apps like, hey, we got to carve out a little bit more space here in player dining for P and Lady J. See how that goes over.
He was not one of the players in the lawsuit. I just looked that up. I would have thought he would have been, but maybe I don't know if Klayman had exclusive rights to all of his lawsuits or whatever that was. But
he did sue Golf Channel for
the $750 million.
Yes.
I put 2 pages of notes together and I did not even get to the $750 million lawsuit. Like, I'd forgotten about that. The dude is just
he's such a cartoon
machine.
Character.
Yes.
I mean,
he's a Scottie Cameron enthusiast.
I understand listeners maybe pounding their steering wheel. Like, this is the definition of distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes.
For me, you know what I mean? Like I've just blocked all this stuff out. I'm just like, but I was at last year at Augusta. I followed Reed for 9 holes and I was like, man, I missed this. He really, the way he throws his hands, like it's fun to watch him play golf. So it is like you said, Solly, he shouldn't be playing meaningless golf in Bahrain. No offense. I don't mean DP World Tour is meaningless, but
I mean, Solly, he's the modern Seve in more ways than one, right?
What's being shunned by the PGA Tour?
No, or just maybe a little cavalier.
Sure.
Allegedly. It's got a lot of feuds. I think that definitely plays. All right.
I will say I was disappointed in Hovland. Hovland shot 76 today. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. And then I was disappointed in Puig too. I think Puig is like really good. I think he won the BMW Australian PGA down there, and then he finished T3 at the at the Dubai Invitational, and then he finished T7 this week in the Dubai Desert Classic. But I think I was expecting him to challenge P today for it, and I think he's he is a viable Ryder Cup candidate for Europe.
I was going to say, can you help me define really good? Because we have to fight, like, the Live boys are obviously going to, claim that this guy's Ludwig, and that's obviously not the case. But, like, we have to do it can be hard to equate these things when guys are playing separate golf and not going through the PGA Tour cauldron. So, like, what is really good? Like, where would you put him? Like, what's a good comp for him? For on the PGA Tour side, you think in terms of talent level, or where you think he's going? I'm putting you on the spot with this one.
I mean, he doesn't have like a great record in the majors. He's only got 5 major starts, but like last year he played, like when he tees it up on the DP World Tour, he tends to play well. Like he finished top 10 at the Spanish Open last year, or T4 in Bahrain last year, third at the Ras Al Khaimah, like T4 at, at the Dunhill in 24, T3 at the Spanish Open. Like, he plays well when he shows up. So
At weak field events. Those are weak field events.
I think he's but like this week's not a weak field event. And I think this is the Dubai Desert Classic, I think, will be like, that will take the place of the Amex or the Sony or whatever. Like, this is what this will be like the leadoff event to the golf season next year or in 2 years, I think. But yeah, I would say he's like a top 60 player in the world.
He's 49th in data golf rankings, which is right around like Matt McCarty, which feels right to me. Thorborn Olsen, Michael Thorbjornsen, Rico Hoey, Adam Scott, JT Poston, Jordan Spieth, Ryan Gerard, Nick Taylor in that group. Like,
yeah, that feels right.
I think that feels right to me. I think I'm a little resistant to I can see it. I can feel it coming. This is going to be kind of the same Neiman thing, which Neiman missed the cut as well this week. I was kind of a little alarm bells on Neiman last several months has been really, really.
I think
tough
Neiman
stuff,
might be going through. I think he either got rid of his swing coach or he's going through some swing changes, and it just feels like a toxic combustible recipe if he's going to change things up.
All right, I'm going to go. I want to give a shout out to our friends at SoFi, ultimate finance app, for sponsoring today's SoFi Get Your Money Right moment. You can go to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. I'm going to play this clip. I think golf.com put this little edit together. Quotes from Rory talking about a unique dollar-related situation over there on the DP World Tour.
Rory, just in terms of the Ryder Cup, would it just be easier for Rahm and Hatton to pay their fines? They could probably afford it.
Yeah, absolutely. My thing is, look, this is my opinion. We went really hard on the Americans last year about wanting paid to play the Ryder Cup. And we all sat up there and said that we would pay to play in Ryder Cups. There's two guys that can prove it. Right? Like, that's, yeah.
Fuck yeah. God, this was my whole platform heading into the Ryder Cup. Like, they were so sanctimonious about this money shit. And here the Hatton and Rahm were refusing to pay their fines after Liv stopped paying their fines. Like, God, I've appreciated Rory putting his money where his mouth is on this one.
I do too. I know he shouldn't, but I love it when Rory starts running his mouth like this. That's good stuff. I think he's 100% right. I will say, if you saw the clip, the video, the scrolling background,
so bad.
It was messing with me all week.
I saw a bunch of clips from that press conference from different players, and I'm like, man, it looks like they're on a circular table or something. It just, I know we're trying to get a lot more brand awareness up there, but that just threw me off. But yeah, good for Rory. I don't know. I'm sure Hatton and Rahm don't like hearing that, but he doesn't have to talk to them until, 4 times a year until the Ryder Cup. He can make nice with them, but he's not wrong.
What do you think, TC?
I think this is an internal issue for us, internal locker room issue, and I'd like to handle it internally. Francesco's in the field this week. He played well, finished top 10. Let's huddle together and do that. I saw they ambushed Hatton with it after the round one day, or after one of the pro-am days, and he kind of pled ignorance on it. So I don't know. We'll see. Like, how much are the fines?
I don't know exactly, but I think it was around 100,000 pounds per start on Liv. So it's in the millions of dollars that these guys would owe the DP World Tour. Yes. Rory also would continue on to say, go ahead, Neil.
I would just say,
here's his quote on why. So, like, Rory said, any organization or any members organization like this has a right to uphold its rules and regulations. And what the DP World Tour are doing is upholding their rules and regulations. And we, as members, sign a document at the start of every year, which has you agree to these rules and regulations. And the people that made the option to go to Live knew what they were. So I don't see what's wrong with that.
I agree.
Which I don't disagree with, but that it's also like, at this point, Rahm and Hatton, it's like, sanction me with your army. Clearly, you let me play in the Ryder Cup. Why, track me down for it then? Like, they kind of neutered the DP World Tour already. Like, why would they go and pay it now?
Well, I think it was because the appeal, they fined him, it was upheld and they appealed, and that appeal was not set before the Ryder Cup. I think it's either next month or not set yet. I don't know when the actual appeal is, but they essentially on appeal were able to keep playing and play in the Ryder Cup. But it is anticipated that before 2027 Ryder Cup, this will be through appeals and they will owe the money. And so they're calling the bluff of like, are you going to really not let me play? I get the sentiment though that it's serious this time, and like, no, you're not. You can't just bypass this and still get to play.
So Solly, is this the DP World Tour getting their money right?
I believe yes. That is my tie into the SoFi. Get your money right. Exactly right.
Okay. And it sounds like P like plans on paying. He's fine to pay the fine.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, Patrick Reed had comments that I don't plan on stopping. I mean, if we play well enough, we had to pay fines to still continue to show support on this tour, then so be it. He's not even European. He's like, I'll pay fines to come play on the DP World Tour. That's totally fine. Like, respect to P on that one. I just don't get how Rahm can get a $300 million contract and still want to play the DP World Tour, still want to play in the Ryder Cup and not just fork up the money for that. It's pennies to you, man, and it's unnecessary headache. And the Live Daddies took care of it for a while for you, and now you're on your own for it, and it can't even be that much. You don't play that many DP World Tour events. Like, it can't be that much. Like, it is so perfect. Rory's exactly right. It's so perfect on how much they have flown the flag on money. That's like, okay, you get a chance to pay millions of dollars to play in the Ryder Cup. Here you go. Like, let's see you actually do it.
Yeah, you got your money right, and now pay up. That's what it's for, right? Make this stuff go away.
If Reed's going to pay up, they should let him on the U.S.
Man, that could be an interesting situation for the European team. It's like, who are we going to get into a staring contest?
I think they should have to play a couple men down at this point just to handicap it. Like, if they're full squad for Ireland, they're going to wipe the floor with the U.S. So I think that it only adds intrigue if they are not able to bring their full team over. So, or for the home game. I think that's only fair. So
I love how you changed your tune and you're respecting the European team now. I appreciate that.
Oh my God. I'm not going to dignify that comment. Truly. Thanks again to our friends at SoFi, the all-in-one finance app, for sponsoring the Get Your Money Right segment. Go to SoFi.com/NLU to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. And let us know in the comments if you want to nominate somebody for the Get Your Money Right moment. Really upsetting stuff, TC. Tommy has fallen. He had big letter hat on during
it was a
play
tonal big letter hat. And yeah, what's the deal? Does Tommy not have? He's no longer with Nike. That much is clear.
Lulu.
He was wearing an Augusta polo.
Yeah, he's signed with Lulu.
I don't think he signed.
Really?
He was. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a done deal.
I don't
It
know.
looks like a Lulu logo he's wearing right there.
That's a Masters.
That's an Augusta National logo.
Okay. It is very small on the screen as we're recording this, but it's tough.
Listen, I think everywhere is fallen at this point, Solly.
He's testing the waters with Lululemon. Doesn't sound like he's signed. You're right, TC.
You guys ready to do distance? You want to do live?
Well, I mean, it sounds like the USGA and the RNA aren't ready to do distance.
All right, I guess we'll do that. We'll go there next. Listen, okay, so a statement released by the USGA titled Area of Interest, Implementation Date for the Update to the Overall Distance Standard Test for Golf Balls came out this past week. I'm just going to read the statement in totality. In December of 2023, the RNA and USGA published a notice of decision on an update to the overall distance standard test for golf balls. This required that all golf balls submitted for conformance evaluation for listing from January 2028 must conform to the new test conditions. At the same time, recreational golfers will be permitted to continue to play with previously conforming golf balls until January 2030. So, dumbing that down, pro golf or elite golf, rolled back golf ball starting in 2028, and for everybody else starting in 2030. Continuing on with the quote, it says, the governing bodies adopted this phased approach in response to contributions made during the decision-making process. The later implementation for the recreational game was intended to allow manufacturers more time to develop their full product lines and to provide an opportunity for retailers and golfers to exhaust any existing stock. Since that announcement, the RNA and USGA have been progressing plans to support the implementation of this decision, including engaging with stakeholders on a range of issues During this engagement, several stakeholders have expressed concerns over the potential challenges that could come from the two-phase approach to implementation. Based on this feedback, the R&A and USGA are interested in soliciting views on a possible change from the phased implementation to a single date across the whole game, effective from January 2030. What's the reaction, TC? I know you're a big distance guy. Reaction to this potential possible change.
Okay, that's what I was. Before you go to TC, I just want to get this straight. They have not. They're thinking about maybe making it all in 2030, but that decision hasn't been made yet.
I mean, you're reading between the lines, like that decision has been made. If they're going to even open the door to kicking the can down the road.
But I'm just saying that statement didn't have a direct like.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
They dribbled this out on a Friday, Friday afternoon. Didn't really announce it. It got picked up by, I think, Jim Nugent and Global Golf Post was the first I saw of it on like Monday morning. I'm reading it as the PGA, with stakeholders. I would imagine those stakeholders are probably the PGA of America saying, hey, we're the ones that have to implement this at clubs and in section events and tournaments and stuff at our clubs and club championships and all that stuff. And this is going to be a mess. And, are we supposed to test golf balls or whatever? So I think my read is they're trying to get the PGA of America on board with this and say, all right. And it sounds like that could be happening. Like the PGA of America is like, all right, give us more time, but we will come on board. That could be one of the reasons that our man D Sprague, and then it sounds like the PGA of America may be getting closer to being in lockstep while the PGA Tour gets, further and further away. And I think the PGA of America, PGA Tour relations are worsening as well, because I think the tour is going to start hammering them on like, hey, we want a big cut of the Ryder Cup, or we want more to release our players to play. So my read is that I don't know. It's disappointing. Like, it's not like this thing is a surprise, or they haven't had to, like, the whole thing about like exhausting current stock of golf balls. Like Solly, what, they announced this like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and we still have another 2 years to go. You're telling me that you can't exhaust your current stock of golf balls?
I don't think the official rollback was announced. I'd have to look up the date on that. I don't think that was quite 4 or 5 years ago. They signified that it was going to happen, right? Here's, all these comment periods.
It wasn't that long ago. It was 2. I would say
gave
2
all right,
max.
but gave everybody 4 or 5 years of lead time total.
Yeah.
From then till.
I remember when it was announced, to your point, TC, it felt like a long time away.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it doesn't feel that far away. 2 years. But I always kind of found it, I understand, and from that statement as well, like I understand why they were trying to lead with the high level golf and do the recreational stuff, but this weird, either do the bifurcation or don't.
Yeah.
To like implement like a 2-year bifurcation basically is, I think it's stupid. You got to rip the Band-Aid off. If we're going to do it, like pick a date and you just do it. Like so I don't have
the whole
I'm suspicious
process
that this was always the plan. Like, I think all right, yeah, we're gonna, we're kind of doing it bifurcated, and it's going to ease into doing it for everybody. But now the plan would just be do it for everybody all at the same time. Maybe that was an easier message to deliver initially, of like, yeah, we're going to, start it with bifurcated, then it's going to trickle down to everybody. I don't know. That's my that's based on true speculation. But
I think based on like speculation on my end is it sounds like the manufacturers, like Rory said, there's several interviews floating out there. They're like, they've already gotten around the new regulations, and that they're not all that well thought out, and they're not going to accomplish what, like, the current testing modifications aren't going to accomplish what they said that, but it's also frustrating in that, like, the USGA and RNA put out the, like a big distance thing back in like 02 or 03.
So I'll give you some of this right here. So how things currently work: the overall distance standard, that's what defines the maximum yardage a golf ball can travel. This is set at 317 yards with a tolerance of 3 yards. So Golf balls are currently tested at 120 miles an hour clubhead speed, 10 degrees of launch, and 2,520 RPMs. So if you test it on the robot with those specifications, it can't fly farther than 320, basically. So that's the current speed of the ball. Starting what would now be in 2030, the overall standard stays the same distance, the 317 plus 3-yard tolerance, but the testing conditions go up from 120 to 125. The launch angle goes from 10 to 11 degrees, and the RPMs go down from 2,500 to 2,200.
So more
right?
realistic.
Yeah,
that wasn't in that statement though. So that's also
this is old. This is old.
This is old. Okay.
This is when they announced the change in the distance standard, or the distance remains the same, but how they're testing it is what is changing. That is what the rollback is. Like that is not
my thing was just like the USGA announced in 2002 or 2003 that, hey, we are very concerned with distance but we're going to be asleep at the wheel for the next 2 decades.
I'm crediting Jeff Shackelford's newsletter here, but when the USGA and RNA released a joint statement of principles in 2002, back then, in 2002, they suggested that any further significant increases in hitting distance at the highest level are undesirable. At that time, the average driving distance on tour was 279.5 yards. The average distance last year on the PGA Tour was 302.8 yards. That is a 23-yard gain after the two-piece ball came out. Like the big jump was in 99 into 2000. Like that was, obviously there was titanium drivers in the 90s, a lot of that, but like the big thing that was blamed was like, all right, the new golf ball. There's been 23 yards since then. And since they said distance is a problem. So like, yeah, sleep at the wheel thing is it's just compounding interest at this point. And like, I think we probably would have to do our own separate full distance episode to properly address this, but there are a lot of suspicions in the golf world that this rollback is going to actually be effective for what we'd like it to be. We'll have a conversation coming up this coming week with a guest as well, where we dive into this with a little bit more detail. But is the big question for me still is like, is this worth using all of your capital to push this change through? Because if this doesn't go well, good luck legislating anything else that actually might be effective with driving distance. And I want driving distance to be regulated, full stop. I have different thoughts on how to get there, not being an engineer or scientist or have any idea how to execute it. But the risks, the things I would like changed are not described in this change in testing. And I don't think that gets rid of the problem, which is like, it's not risky to hit the driver and it's easier to wail on it. And
I think that I agree. It's like, I don't want to, the only thing worse than no solution is a bad solution.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
But you know what I'm curious about is like what I'd love to see who knows if this is even a stat that's tracked, but what irons, has the distance with irons gone up? Is it just driver? Because then I'm like, man, could we talk about something as simple as like, you can't tee it up so dang high, so you can't hit up on it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is it?
Yes. But
because I haven't hit, I don't hit my irons any farther with I get new clubs, and I know that's not what you're going for with irons, but do you get what I'm getting at here?
Guarantee you hit your irons farther than you did 15, 20 years ago. Like ball speeds up across the board. Like the balls are faster.
Sure. Do you guys understand what I'm going at here though?
I do.
Like, are we going after the raw?
I think the ball is demonized
standards
too much of like, there's a lot of different factors in play, but the ball is the one thing that they can change, and it affects everybody. But Sully, to your point, like, it seems like they've been pretty clumsy with the process here, and with kind of how they've gone about prescribing what the fix is. And it seems like it needs to be more of a multifaceted solution. It's not just the ball, right?
I think again, my stance on this is, I think by itself, the distance the ball goes is too far. I think that's part of it.
It's a big component of distance.
A bit, yeah. But I put a percentage on that. Let's say it's 20%, 25%, 30% of the problem. I don't know. For me, the way bigger problem is that you have big driver heads that you are incentivized to swing hard, and that you can hit off the toe and it draws right down the middle, hit off the heel and it cuts. You are incentivized to get faster and faster and faster because the risk of hitting it offline is not great enough. And that is a problem that trickles down in many, many different ways, leads to more driver wedge. I don't think like Scottie Scheffler's 8-iron going too far is like what is ruining the game. I don't think it's even close on that.
No, I don't either. That's kind of, I guess what I'm getting at is And then it's tough because I have two sides of my brain. It's like what I'm watching, like a center for ants, Amex, 26 under, 30 on. We're flirting with 30 under until we double 17. And what I'm hitting, like when I'm playing the new technology, like, yo, I like hitting the fairway.
Sure.
I'm not having any less fun. Like, I don't feel like the technology has de-skilled my personal game. I do feel like it's de-skilled the high end of the game. Do you know what? So I struggle with those two pieces of it. Does that make sense?
I know. Yes, and it's like I love having this conversation because I think it's interesting to talk about, but every part of it leads to a different part. Because I think what I would also say, Neil, is if we played the Amex this past week with everyone used persimmon drivers,
Sure.
it would have been a different tournament. The scores would have been higher. I think that's without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I think like if you went out and had to play a persimmon driver next week, you might play a different set of tees. So my point with technology is continuing to move back. Like the farther you hit it, the more likely you are to just move backwards anyways, to find the challenge that you're looking for, right?
Sure.
Like if you cover a bunker at 240 with your current driver, what do you feel when you do that? What do you feel? Nothing.
I feel, well,
you feel nothing.
You would feel good.
Sure, but you would feel nothing.
You're not even noticing a bunker you're carrying.
No, I
you
get
don't
what
even
you're
see
saying.
that.
Yes.
But if you hit a persimmon driver and you'd be like, I got to hit this on the screws to cover that bunker. If I miss hit it, I'm in it.
No, and I love playing hickories. Like I love, I like that kind of golf too. I'm just saying though, and I don't want this to get into a personal golf discussion, but that's where I'm like, man, I just woke up and I feel like I'm in the center of the golf ball, the distance debate. And I'm like, man, I got two sides of my truly brain. It's like both things can be right. I'm like, man, I'm really enjoying the top of the line clubs I'm hitting. And I'm also like, it looks a little too easy for these guys to make birdie on the TV there.
I think that is,
I'm like, well, I can't
yes.
square those two.
That's spot on.
Sully, are you like, I used to be anti-bifurcation. Now I think I'm pro-bifurcation.
That's where I'm trying to get at maybe is like, why don't we just, and they were already going to kind of bifurcate it for 2 years. I'm like, maybe that's the answer.
I do apologize if you please still listen to Tuesday's episode, but we do talk about some of this with our guests as well. I'm probably using some of the same lines. Recorded this a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what I said, but I would say I don't think the public is ready for the conversation or realization that a rollback would not be a bad thing for them. Because again, the way I view this question is there's technology A and set of T's A that go together. There's technology B and set of T's B that go together, right? If I had to play persimmons tomorrow, I would not be tipping it out at Timuquana. I just wouldn't. Like that'd be too much golf course. I don't want to do that. Like I think as a whole in golf, we could all afford to move forward. And
if we're making too many birdies, we can move back.
I don't think I definitely don't think Americans would do that. Like it's just not the way humanity works. Like it's just not the way people's brain works.
It's
so
a bit of a coffee in the break room. You can't take it away.
People are really dumb too. And people, it's like, it's like taking guns away kind of thing. I'm like, no, this is my distance and it's my God-given right. And I'm talented.
That's true, TC.
And I think but I totally agree that I think a bad rollback now, like they're not going to get another chance to do this if they roll it out bad and it doesn't work as intended. And it doesn't sound like it's going to work as intended. Like it sounds like it could even dumb the game down more where there's less spin and there's less dispersion and all of that. Like, cause that's what makes me mad is like mishits and they're consequences, right? The ball doesn't spin as much anymore and spin control's not as just important of a skill anymore.
But God, I mean, we were doing the CB McDonald pod with DJ, and it's like the same argument was going on in the 1900, like 1910, 1920. It's time is a flat circle here. Like
I think the spin thing though is like is a true like technological advancement that is like really hard to regulate and unwind. Like I just don't think you can like make the ball go offline more. Like you know what I mean?
Well, I think you could regulate the materials that a golf ball is made out. Like I just don't understand why every other sport can self-regulate and like golf just straight up can't. Like swimming did it. Tennis does it all the time.
I'll tell you why. It's because you're swimming, you're always, like golf is such a game against yourself and the golf course that like anything they can sell and market to you to improve like that. There's such a personal marketing thing that goes into everything, right? And there's personal improvement to everything, personalization to it that like is very applicable. Like a golf ball, we have all have different golf ball fits among us, like that fit our game a lot better. And you're not, in tennis, you don't get to like pick the tennis ball that fits you best because like you're playing the same ball back and forth. But unless you're playing alt shot, no one else is touching your golf ball. Yeah, like that's kind of the what drives a lot of this. Because again, I always end up at like, dude, I don't know how to make sense. I can't go to like Brian Rollap and be like, you should roll the ball back because it's going to make you more money. Because I don't think that's how it's going to work. I think for the sake of the game, it's obvious, but like it's been so commercialized at this point that it's really hard to unwind that kind of mentality in it. So
I wonder what Rollap's thinking about this.
I'd be curious.
I'd be fascinated to know what he's
right.
thinking about.
Kind of new, like walking into the room, like, all right, yeah, this is this whole thing. It's kind of outside of my organization, but it impacts it in a big way. And I have big sway over. Like, I really wonder what he's thinking about.
Just such outsized influence on, like it's a, hundreds of billions of dollars represented by the golf industry, and only, I think, like 15 to 20% of that is the OEMs and the equipment manufacturers, like the courses and the architects and the rest of the industry is bearing the cost of this.
It's endlessly complicated, and I don't think.
Well, to bring it back around though, like, okay, maybe big ass decision here. Like, maybe I'm okay kicking the can for a couple of years. If we're,
if it involves changing the rules,
I know. I just wish we could, like, are we gonna like work together on this, or like you said, Sally, are the governing bodies gonna force this through? And like, yeah, I agree with Juan and the USGA that like, yo, we got to do something, but I don't know if it's like jamming something through that's the wrong fit is concerning, especially when like maybe the smartest guys are like at these OEMs and they might just like solve the test before the test gets put out in 2030. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more rocket scientists over there. Like, they might figure it out.
Say, call the rocket scientists and say, hey, we're going to do
That's what I mean. Like, can we work together on this?
Yeah. Golf Pride is back as the official grip of no layup. I didn't have a good transition to that one.
That's a great transition.
For more than 75 years, Golf Pride has led the way in grip technology and innovation, which is why over 80% of tour pros choose Golf Pride grips, and none of them are paid to do it. That's the ultimate statement of trust and performance. If you care about feel, control, confidence, start where every swing starts, the grip. Whether you want something firm and responsive or soft and tacky, there's a Golf Pride model and size that fits your game. Go to golfpride.com. You can use the grip selector to dial in the best fit for all 14 clubs in your bag. I use the MCC Plus 4s on all of my clubs with 2 sets of tape under it. I use the reverse taper on my putter, and I've not changed that for 6, 7 years, 8 years, maybe. I mean, well before Golf Pride was on board with us, I've been using nothing but Golf Pride grips. Listeners of the pod,
Golf Pride Z-Grip cord guy.
Listeners of the pod get 20% off a full set of up to 13 swing grips and 1 putter grip with code NLU20 at checkout. That's a new code for 2026. NLU20 at checkout for 20% off all 14 of those grips. Nest members, you get 25% off. There's a one-time use code in your member profile. Golf Pride, number 1 grip in golf.
You know what? Maybe that's where we should be looking.
Good.
Yeah. What if
take grips away? You got a grip on the shaft.
What if we got it? Maybe we change the grips. Maybe we haven't been looking far enough up the club yet. Maybe we should maybe they need to zero in on Golf Pride and see what's going on over there with that technology, because it's getting way too good. I'll tell you that.
I just want one tournament play with Persimmons, and let's just see what happens. Maybe one day. Make everyone play with Persimmons for one day of the tournament.
Well, and then also we got to do the Muni tournament, TC, where all the pros carry their own bag. The greens are stimping at like 8.
I think that would
slow out there. They got to wait on every tee. Like all the stuff that the Muni golfers deal with.
Well, I think it's slow out there anyway. I think it's pretty slow as it is. But I think the ball strikers on tour should all band together and be like, we want slower greens because it's like this stuff favors like it's letting bad ball strikers back in the mix too much. These fast greens. Like, all right, like make it to where you got to hit it inside 10 feet if you want to make a birdie.
Can I back up just to grips generally, guys? I bought a Vice and I bought a re-gripping package on Amazon. I'm gonna get down in the workshop. I'm gonna re-grip some clubs here in the next month. Get ready for spring. I've never re-gripped clubs before. So
Never.
No, I haven't. So I want to. That's kind of one of those things. I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to.
The only time I re-gripped my clubs, I cut my pinky open. But, when we were like maybe like 13 or 14, I was like, that's the last time I'm ever re-gripping my own clubs.
All right. Well, I'll try to avoid doing that.
Everywhere.
After I finish shoveling all the snow, then I'm going to re-grip my clubs.
Trust fund boys never had the golf course job where you had to re-grip the clubs for the members like I had.
I just played everything into the ground, Solly. I didn't know you could re-grip them.
TC, take us to some live golf news if you don't mind.
Yeah. Michael Sasso, one of our once future villains on tour, has been ripped away from us. He will forego his amateur status to join live golf and more specifically the high flyers.
Putting out all content this week.
I believe they were at Phil's personal backyard range there. I think from what I'm hearing, it's like $1 million a year for 4 years, plus all the stuff. I think he was telling people it was a lot more than that, but that's what I'm hearing. If that's incorrect, feel free to correct me. But and if he's in the relegation zone at season's end, he's SOL, like he's out. So no guarantees. There's interesting back
meritocracy on live.
Can I just say though, this is a bummer. I say what you want. You guys are at the Walker Cup. I know Sasso might, big personality, could have been a villain, whatever. God, I cannot get enough of watching him hit the golf ball. I mean, the move is crazy, man. The way he uses the ground, like fun golf swing to watch. So that's a bummer for me. Of course, I could go watch him on live. I could throw the CW on or whatever it's on now, but I'm not going to seek it out anymore. So that's
God. You're going to get so clipped up. It's on Fox now, Neil. Come on.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe I will watch it then. But I just, what I'm trying to say. Like I like unique golf swings. He has a unique golf swing. Now I don't know. Like it looks like he's gonna, tear his like labrum in his hip next week. The way he turns on it, but it's a fun golf swing to watch, and I wish there were more unique golf swings like that. So that's all I'll say.
Graham McDowell entered
entered the fray with it. He had a take on the matter, which it was hot take, but live is a legitimate pathway for young potential superstars who can get paid to be mentored in their young careers by tour greats and play a guaranteed schedule. The road to the PGA Tour is increasingly perilous and littered with great talent that never made it. Yeah, man. Close, super close on this one, dude.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know, how's James Pyatt doing or Andy Ogletree doing too?
Who are the great players that never made it on the PGA Tour? Also, like
they weren't great, right?
Yeah, I think you just got to prove the greatness is kind of the thing. It's also not a pathway. Like they just pick and choose who they want to invite there, and there's no guarantee back to the tour through it. It's a cash grab. It takes, he's going to play for a lot of money and get some guaranteed money. He's going to be doing that next year instead of fighting for Korn Ferry status and trying to work his way up the ladder on the PGA Tour. Like the offering is very legitimate for a young player out of tour, especially one that maybe potentially has a little bit of doubt in their talent and doesn't have major championship aspirations. Like, yeah, this is a very legitimate thing to go do. They're going to pay you a lot of money to go play golf. Like, it's not a bad deal. So the reasons I watch golf are very different than that. But I can understand a youngster being in that scenario, wanting that. But this does nothing for live to quell any of the suspicions that a lot of people have about it or things that they don't like about it. It's like feeds more into that beast of he did not qualify for this and just gets a check to go play out there. So
I don't know, Eugenio Chikara, like basically left Live because he felt like it wasn't helping his career and had bigger aspirations, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. He's walking away from a Masters invite too, which
seems on brand for him. Like that part doesn't really surprise me. I think, some of us, give the Masters, put it on a pedestal, probably the pedestal it deserves, but guy's a little reckless from all the stories we've heard. So that part doesn't really surprise me that much. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question though, of like millions and millions of dollars for, we probably miss the cut at the Masters. Most amateurs do, for the 5 days you'd get at Augusta National. What's that trade-off like? I guess it's, why do you play golf? If it's to make money, it's an easy decision. If it's for something more than that, it's a lot more difficult decision, I would think. But
yeah. Sully, did you catch any of the Live Golf Showcase award show?
I just saw that my guy, now called Flat Perez, got Influencer of the Year, and there were some suspicious awards given out. John Rahm won Most Clutch, despite not winning a tournament last year out on the circuit. But I didn't know there was a Live Golf Showcase Awards until this week. I did a couple laughs out of that one.
Adelaide won Tournament of the Year. Concert of the Year was also Dom Dalla on Adelaide.
They still doing shoeies, TC?
I'm not sure, Neil. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Let's see here. The Majestics won the Impact Award. So yeah. Bob Does Sports doing best golf influencer moment of the year. So
did
Bubba won Comeback Player of the Year. Cleeks did not. I didn't see a single Cleek in the. Oh no, Blandy Approach of the Year at Mexico City.
God, we need to start awarding.
We should do an awards.
Sounds like some good awards.
Yeah, they gave him a lot. I think it was kind of a participation trophy.
Is that true that he's now going by Flat Perez?
He lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, lost a ton of weight.
Dude, good for him, man. Yeah. Straight up, like I was kind of worried about that guy. Like I hope so. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Freddie, my son, huge Fat Perez guy.
I mean, same here, dude. That guy's all the Bob Does Sports guys. I'm a big fan of them.
He was fascinated by it. He was like, Dad, there's that guy's name's Fat Perez over there during the Creator Classic. So
was Freddie impressed that I whooped his ass in the Creator Classic or no?
He was.
No, I'm just kidding.
He was.
Those guys are like legitimately some of the best creators, if not the best out there doing it. Like truly entertaining, funny stuff.
I was worried that guy was going to run himself into the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I was out at the Mizuho Pro-Am. It just feels like Fat Perez specifically, just like on flights, will play, have clubs, will travel. Yeah. It's like, man,
if clubs will.
Don't spin out of control, brother.
I hope it seems like he's doing great. So congrats to him for that.
Good.
One. But Neil, Liv announces going back to the New York market.
In my backyard,
to
baby.
Bedminster. Let's go.
Come on, right down the street. Couple exits down. Let's go. Yeah. Third time at Bedminster. First time since 2023. Dates look like August 6th to 9th. So maybe I'll have to get some boots on the ground. Go check it out. Come on. I had not been to a Live event, and I'm wide open to go. I'm not going to go out of my way, but this is very much in my way. It's right down the street.
Go to the garden party, Neil. The Cleeks
you know what's funny? My father-in-law, who has no interest in golf, he went to the Live event back in 2023 at Bedminster. Went out for a day, walked around. He was like, yeah, there's tons of music. I remember him being like, yeah, he literally just bought a ticket, told me afterwards. He's like, yeah, I went to this golf tournament. You ever heard of this Live thing? It was awesome. Fantastic stuff. So I might have to pull that move in August.
Can you believe this is Liv's 5th season? Like, it just doesn't seem possible.
That is hard to believe.
Yeah. So this is the 5th U.S. event confirmed for the 2026 season. There's going to be one more unveiled. I assume that's almost certainly going to be in the U.S. They have 8 international events scheduled. So this is matching their balance from 2025. 8 international events, 6 U.S. They had 7 U.S. in 2024, 7 in 2023. They have claimed to be the world's golf tour, yet the country that they host the most events in is by far the United States. It has gone down a little bit below 50%, but do we think Liv's going to like slowly start to pull away from the U.S.? Is that just Liv bullshit that we're hearing about? The PGA Tour owns the U.S. and we own the world. it's a little talking out of both sides of their mouth, which I know they like to do, but they don't seem to be anxious to leave the U.S. in particular.
Yeah, especially when you got PIF funding this thing, you would think, all right, this gives us more wherewithal to go to interesting places that, like, if your goal is to grow the game, like how have they not had something down in Santiago, Chile with, Neiman, or like I know they've got the Mexico City event at Chapultepec. They took that from us, sorry. But like I don't know, I would just anticipate, like, have a second event in Australia, or I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like they're kind of running back the same stuff that hasn't really taken hold as of yet. Like, some of the vibes at some of these places outside of the Grange one is, like, it's tough. There's just not a lot going on.
Yeah. I did find it interesting. It's going back to a DT golf course. He did say that famously said he could solve this issue in 15 minutes. And not only that did not go well when that happened.
That, dude.
We're back at a Trump course for
Well, the PGA Tour is back at the Trump course too. So.
True, correct. So yeah, he's a winner out of all of this. But it did not, not a lot of great momentum going into this year. Did see some funny stuff about people being, thinking the trade of Koepka for Elvis Smiley was actually a really good thing for them. But I don't know. It just doesn't hit the same anymore as it once did.
Gonna make it up in the aggregate. Sasso and
that's a great,
Victor Perez.
You cannot replace a Giambi.
Okay. Yeah. Koepka, we're going to make him up in the aggregate. So Lasasa, hey, how about that?
He's
got some
prospects.
prospects.
Scott Hatterberg. I love that.
He's got big thighs, big trunk. All right.
I love that. Guys, we got a new film coming out this week from Nebraska. You guys took a little special brothers trip out to Nebraska. TC, why don't you tell us a little bit about that and what that experience was like?
Yeah, this thing's coming out, Wednesday? Wednesday premiere.
So. Yes.
This week on our No Laying Up YouTube channel. I think Nebraska's as close as you can get to Scotland in the United States as far as golf, and almost like the feeling you get when you're there too, of the people, and it's just a really authentic experience. And it's like it kind of brings you back to the simplicity of why you play golf in the first place. You're just playing over these cool landscapes and in the wind and on sandy soil and all that, but it's the most landlocked state in the United States, and somehow it's got all this sand and great land for golf. So we went through, we played Bayside, we played Frederick Peak, we played the horse course at Prairie Club, we played Caprock Ranch, played Wild Horse, we played Sand Hills, we stopped by a few other, or we played Mullen Golf Club as well, stopped by a few other courses, some honor box places. We're gonna stop at Pelican Beach as well, but we got distracted and went to the rodeo that we saw on the side of the road instead.
Truly, pulled up on a rodeo.
Yeah, Arthur, Nebraska. But Neil, what do you think of the trip?
I think Randy said this about Scotland. You feel nostalgic in a place that you've never been, which is exactly how I felt in Nebraska. What I loved is we did hit the whole spectrum. Yes, we played at Sand Hills. Can you play there? Probably not. But you know what? We hit some honor box spots, the whole spectrum. Wild Horse, I think about it all the time, TC. Like, I just love that golf course, and that is about as public as you can get. And it's just like a good old-fashioned American road trip with my brother. And, Deej, it was good stuff, man. And I think this is going to be one of our best videos that we ever put out. It's awesome. So, it was we filmed it like in the middle last summer, and I don't want to say I blacked out, but we just had a lot going on. And so watching it through this, like the edit and stuff, I was like, God, that was such an awesome trip. And maybe I wasn't like super present for the whole thing, but I love it. I'm really fired up for it to go out into the world. And I'd say Nebraska should just rocket up people's big board. If you like road trips, you should consider Nebraska as a golf trip option. Like, yeah, there's some space in between some of these courses, but there's a lot of accessible places, and the price is right at a lot of them. And there's like, I mean, we didn't even play at Prairie Dunes, and that place looked awesome. TC, I got to get back out there.
Well, Prairie Dunes is in Kansas. Prairie
Sorry,
Club.
Prairie Club.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I get those two mixed up. But
Yeah,
Prairie
like
Club.
yeah, you got all sort of like Dismal Rivers out there. You've got Grable is a new one out there. Like there's Awari Dunes is cool. You got all sorts of stuff, but also yeah, just like we played the front nine at Bayside, aka Mr. Belding's place. And we ended up, and then we played the 11th hole. We should have played the back nine, but we couldn't get off the back nine because they were slammed that day. But it was just like that 11th hole was, it's like 650 yards, like along like a knife's edge, basically, getting progressively more severe and narrow as you get up close to the green. And then you've got other stuff that's just, I mean, like, Frederick Peak, Neil. Frederick Peak is Tom Lehman and his design partner, Chris Brands. And you love that place. You were like, it was like the best elements of a hike.
Yeah. And just community golf course, community built, community funded, I think I said it in the edit, like, man, if I would love to like fuck off and just like build a golf course in a small town, like go move to a small town and build a golf course, which is exactly what they did out there in a town of like 2,000 people. And it's just an awesome golf course.
Jason
and
Try to have a small town.
They just take great care of it. It's great, man. It's awesome. Anyway, go watch the video. That's
it seems like there's a through line of, a lot of these places, they've been like population's been shrinking and some of them are starting to grow again, but it seems like every town in Nebraska has got to have 3 or 4 things to be like a real legitimate town. It's got to have a post office, a school, a golf course, and a church. Those are like the 4 things.
And maybe a bar.
Yeah, maybe a bar. But yeah, I mean, like in Arthur, we stopped at the rodeo and then we went to what was that bar?
Bunkhouse.
Yeah, the bunkhouse. And we're in there talking to them, and we're like, all right, how many people live in this town? They're like, I don't know, like 133 or something like that. And we were like, all right, well, like, is this the county seat? They're like, yes, the county seat. I was like, how many people live in the whole county? Like maybe like 600. There's one cop in the entire county. And it's just
the bar was huge too.
It's an awesome place.
It was great.
It's an awesome place to go in the summer. Like you're surrounded by wildflowers, massive dunes, and just the chop landscape. Solly, at one point down at Wild Horse, we got it was really foggy. You know why it was foggy? Because of the corn. Because all the moisture from the corn was like evaporating, corn sweat. And then you get up farther north towards Valentine, and you're more in cattle country and ranch country. There's unbelievable tubing, and and fly fishing. It's just it's a fascinating landscape, and it's among my favorite places in the United States.
Wow. I've only watched about 20 minutes of the video, and my FOMO was kind of overloading, and I'm excited for this Wednesday. I want to see the final product, and I know I'm going to get kind of blown away by this one, but excited for this one. You want to give a couple shout outs on our way out here, TC?
Yeah. We've been talking about our friends at East Sands Golf, and I would highly advise, if you're going to plan a golf trip for 2027, you reach out to them ASAP. Things are starting to move as far as tee sheets and such are going to open up here in the next month, 2 months, 3 months for 2027. So especially for Scotland, I know they've been planning some cool trips for people in England. If you're looking for a 2026 trip, there's still plenty of great golf to be had in England. I think it's the most overlooked, slept on area of the world as far as just great golf is concerned, and you can do it for cheaper than Scotland too. They had a great England email this week just with some trip ideas. So eastsands.co/NLU, and you can see everything there. That's our landing page on there. And Nest members get $500 off per person on any trip you book,
which is insane. That's insane.
It's a good deal. I'd say Nest Gifts landing this week, guys. Popped in the refuge thread.
You feeling it?
I think we might have rocked them. I mean, it's it's an off the wall gift this year.
I don't think I updated my address. I don't know if I'm getting one.
And I kind of the conversation's already drifted off into like if we like disposable ball markers or something. We didn't even offer a ball marker, TC, right? That's not even in the gift this year. But I know. I think we rocked them, and I think it's going to be one of those gifts that keeps on giving for years to come. It's a great re-gift. If you don't like it, I think there's someone in your life that will like it. So I'm fired up about that. Nest gift went out to all 2025 members. If you want to sign up for the Nest, you can at nolayingup.com/join. Running the massive Nest member sale on the Pro Shop too. So if you're a Nest member, go check that out. store.nolayingup.com for that sale. But I think we rocked it with the Nest member gift this year. I'm fired up.
That's kind of a bummer. It's kind of really fun to watch you freak out.
Well, no, there's a couple people that are pissed. Like, I'll never use this. I'm like, great, that's fine. But like, I think it's just
people say that every year.
Yeah, but I think this is a quality one. I think it was well done. Targeted strike.
LPGA kicks off their season this week at the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. DP World Tour is off to Bahrain for the Bopco Energies Bahrain Championship. PGA Tour off to Torrey. Brooks Koepka is back. What are you guys expecting out of Brooks in his first start back on the
Honestly,
PGA Tour?
Nothing. I truly.
What do you think the reception's going to be like?
I think it'll be like people will be fired up.
Yeah, I think like on the ground, he's going to get cheered. Like,
for sure. No, people are going to be. I don't think he's going to play very well, but I think people are going to be fired up, like that he's back. A lot of here we go, Brooks. We love you, Brooks. Like all kinds of love for Brooks, but I don't think he's going to play well.
Yeah, I'll align with that. I bet he plays well at Phoenix. I bet he kind of needs a week to play himself into form. We got to get our guy Ludwig right. He withdrew this week with some sort of stomach thing or sickness, and it seems to happen on the West Coast swing. And we got to get his immune system and his stomach right.
Who wins this week? Who's the pick to win? I think DJ picked Scottie this week, which is kind of we might have to outlaw that one in this game.
Yeah, Scottie playing. Give me Scottie.
I'll say Ludwig.
Okay.
He won one of the two events last year at Torrey.
I said Sam Stevens. I'm going down the board a little bit. Neil, you got a pick?
I'll just take Scottie.
He's not playing this week.
He's not playing?
No, he didn't play Torrey.
Oh, shit.
Xander's first start this week.
No, I don't think Xander's going to win.
Harry English, defending champ. I could see
Snedeker.
Honestly, you could talk me in like TC. You're chatting up Jason Day earlier. You could talk me into Jason Day this week.
Horse for course.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I feel like he's got a really good record out here. Yeah, give me Jason Day.
I like that. All right, that's going to do it for this week. We'll have a new interview episode coming out this coming Tuesday. And again, make sure you're around for our premiere of our Nebraska film on this coming Wednesday evening. And we'll be back with a Farmers recap back on Sunday with the No Championship weekend with the new schedule changes for them. So we will be, you catch us on Sunday evening, and then we'll be, then we're into Waste Management, then it's Pebble Week and signature event SCN. So it's going to get going here very quickly. So thank you, as always, for tuning into the No Laying Up podcast. Thank you to our friends at Titleist, Arccos, SoFi, and Golf Pride. We'll catch you next week. Cheers.
Crack on.